In 1965, First Christian Church of Tyler opened a new sanctuary at Broadway and Loop 323. What was once a plot of land became a place of worship and community for all who entered, a beacon for belonging for the people of East Texas. That step of faith gave us a new home, and today it stands at the city's busiest intersection, filling each week with prayer, song, and life.
We were living in Wichita Falls, where we joined the church, and when we moved to Tyler in 1954, it was just an easy transition to join First Christian Church in Tyler, and so we did.
Well, I was born in 1945 at Mother Frances Hospital to Cleo and John Prater, and they were members of First Christian Church at that time. I was baptized in the sanctuary of the old church before we moved here. We had a son, Jason Robert Orr. He was baptized in this sanctuary. I celebrated the life of my father in this sanctuary when he passed away in 1980. We have been members all this time. Bob and I did move for a while to Colorado, but we came back to this church.
We attended every Sunday. J.J. Pierce was the pastor at that time, and it was an easy integration into everything. Dad was playing softball, and Mother was in the choir, and then I was part of the Sunday school classes until we grew a little bit, my brother and I. Twins weren't born yet. And Bob and I were both baptized in the old church downtown. And so we were very active. We attended every single Sunday. And that's the rest of history there.
We had a big caravan of members and cars and folks that came from downtown. We had a service down there with Dr. Northcott. Of course, back then we just had one type of service, traditional. But we all got in our cars and made our way south to the country. There literally was just a 4-way stop sign out here at the Loop and Broadway, if we can imagine such. But
I more remember the groundbreaking. And that's why I think that we were underneath a tent. But I don't recall actually entering a building. I'm sure it was sometime after that, but I don't have any recollection of that.
Oh, a ton of excitement and so many people. And of course we had caravan down, and there were lots and lots of cars that came down together. All 6 of our family had piled in our 64 station wagon to get there. But the building itself was just very, very different from what we had experienced before. But still we had Dr. Northcott's booming bass voice, which made it feel like home. Well,
my grandmother and my mom, and I do remember this pretty vividly, were here for the groundbreaking, which I think was in '64. But everybody had a shovel. We had all these metal folding chairs, and we were all out here. And of course there was nothing else around here, and except Robert E. Lee High School across the street. No mall, no French Quarter.
We had a closing ceremony downtown, full choir, the acolytes lighted the candles and all of that. And then I guess we just locked the building. I don't remember actually locking it, but I'm sure we did. And then we all got in our cars, which were everywhere. They were all around the Broadway area, across the street at a department store. And we all just piled in and then caravaned down to the literal edge of town, and then came in and had our very first service there. It was a very exciting time.
I just remember I was at Tyler Junior College. I was just graduating. And I can remember going to the old sanctuary with my father. My mother had passed away when I was 14. I was 19 at this time. And I can remember going to the old sanctuary and forming a circle and praying with my church family. I can remember thinking this will be the last time that we're in that sanctuary. We're moving to the new one. And my father had talked to me, so I was a little not sure of what was going to happen and a little emotional. We had the prayer, and then everyone got into their cars, individual cars, and we formed a single line on Broadway out to the new property. And that is where we had our first church service at that time. I can remember thinking, I just prayed with these same people at the old sanctuary, and now we're at the new sanctuary praying, and we're still the same family.
Well, it was in the country. It was, yeah, if you passed the loop, you were in the sticks. So, and I loved the old feel of the original building, but it was exciting to move down here. It was right across from where I went to high school. I was a senior that year.
I mean, I was just a child, but I remember that it was our members were 110% behind the effort.
When we got here, I can remember going into the sanctuary for the first time as a permanent member and looking at the stained glass windows and thinking how beautiful. This was so different and so much more modern and so light and just a beautiful place.
Service, I want to say it was to commemorate the fact that this building had been provided for us to worship in a new era, kind of mid-century at the time. We had a service downtown, then we had a service here.
It was bigger, it was more spacious, it was spread out. We didn't have to climb stairs to go to our Sunday school classrooms, and everything was explosive. The CYF group just continued to grow. Kids from other churches were joining us, and it was an exciting time.
Anyway, we got out here, and then we had a service. I don't remember much of the details other than we were very thankful, to have a new facility. Our old facility had served us well. My parents were both married there, and both sides of my family, back to my great-grandparents, were members of our church.
Well, it was bright, it was full of light, which was a little bit different from the downtown church. But it was different in that it was so modern. And I was like, ooh, but mid-century modern, that was the way of things back then. The architects were very, very into mid-century modern. The wood paneling light, sanctuary, the chapel off of the sanctuary would open up and people could be seated in there in pews when there was an overflow, and they did. So it was just really different, but so much light. And of course the new stained glass, which was very different from the stained glass that we had in the old building. Very beautiful.
My mother helped design and create all the banners with several of her friends, but I think she was kind of the cheerleader of that. And so we get to see those banners today. And that was one of her many pride and joys. And then for particularly Martha and I, the youth programs and the youth leaders were so instrumental. We all went to Athens to the church camp. And again, we grew up in the church.
I was a young adult, and I had changed high schools because of the choir director at this church was also the music director at John Tyler. I was at Robert E. Lee, and he called me and asked me, back then you could go to any high school you wanted to, asked me to come to John Tyler and sing in the choir. And I mentioned that because that's where I met Bob Orr. I knew him, but I wouldn't have known him as well. We married in this sanctuary 57 years ago, and my faith, I can remember just by being married to him, how much it grew, having a child. That's another time that your life is enriched and so full of appreciation. I remember growing and thinking in my faith, and even to this day, I still have growth periods, let's say. So I don't think you ever quit learning. You never quit having experiences that teach you things. It's just stopping long enough to understand what our Father's trying to tell us.
One of the things that I always look forward to that I didn't get a chance to do when I was here when I was a child was be baptized. And when I came back to First Christian Church in 2018, that was one of my goals. I wanted to be baptized. I'd always wanted to do that. So I worked with Chris and we worked out all the details, and I was finally baptized here. That's something that I had been wanting to accomplish and did in June of 2018. And my dad was here before he passed away, and my brothers and some friends from work. And
it's almost unfathomable to know that we were all here with the groundbreaking in 1965, and it was a dirt road. You know, this was not a thriving part of the city at all, and it just means a great deal to me. It's almost full circle again that I feel so blessed to be here and to celebrate the 60th anniversary.
Well, the church has grown just as I have grown. It has transitioned. Some of it has been painful. Some of the changes with personnel and traditions, and some of it's been wonderful. For me personally, we've had a lot of weddings here, a lot of blessings of babies. We have, like I said, I was baptized downtown, but my sisters were baptized here. We've celebrated the homecoming into heaven for at least 4 of our family members here. So just so many things, and I've served in a lot of different capacities in this church, as an elder, as a department chair, so a lot of different things.
for me, it's important that we have been able to be of service to our communities locally and expanded beyond. For so many years, I believe the Lord has given us the ability to sustain what we, I think, have been trying to accomplish for decades. Of course, as I said, we've evolved with the times. You know, every entity has to do that, not just churches, but I think it's probably especially challenging for churches, though, because a lot of churches have specific beliefs, and you know, we have ours, and but we're always open to listening to others as well. But I think our core values, you know, we believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God, and that's what we base everything else on.
I have continued to try to be active in certain committees. I guess my favorite thing is elder at this time. It gives me an opportunity to serve communion to people that are in the nursing homes or in the hospital. My main job now is Garden Estates, and we go there and take communion once a month, and it is wonderful. We have around 22 to 25 that attend every week. 4 of our members of our church are members there and come also.
My faith is just really pretty simple, and I think it stems back from the way that Dr. Northcott led our church, our congregation in the early years, and John Young at his side. I just have a very simple faith. I'm a believer, and I don't get really deep into it. And then I had a lot of mentors along the way. I read a lot of different kinds of books from different people of different walks of life. And so that has inspired me a lot along the way. Chris Pulliam is one of those people who've offered some books for me to read.
We hold our beliefs very close, but we have functions like when we invite people of other faiths to come and present their stories. That, to me, is probably one of the biggest things that we do, to me, that I think is what we're asked to do by Christ. And I'm always interested in hearing somebody else's journey in faith.
I feel very blessed. I help run the Koinonia Sunday School class and help with all of the instructors, what they're going to be teaching. And then I just finished a 5-year term of being chair of the evangelism team. And that is really one of Chris's more important, in my opinion. He established the greeter program, and that has definitely helped bring in the people like Mike and Nancy Porsche that now run that. And it makes everybody feel warm and welcome, and it really is invaluable. And then the other thing is on the evangelism is we do the newcomers brunch, and now Nancy runs that.
Bob and I have tried to stay active. He was one of the youngest elders to be brought, or to be an elder in this church, and he chaired, which I think this is important, the committee that allowed women to be elders. And I am proud to be an elder. I work hard, I love it. I love the senior citizens. I love the people that are still here that knew my father and mother, believe it or not.
I think that FCC has, even during the period of time that I was not attending, this church has sustained me throughout my life.
It's a place to worship. It's a place to make friends. It's a place to grow your faith. I think that I have my own personal stories, and I hope that whatever I've shared is a prompt for others to think about their story.
Extraordinary and welcoming, and I feel blessed to be a part of it.
FCC is my home. I have been taught and loved with a positive attitude from everyone. I have been encouraged as a young person that lost her mother. I have been loved. I have been accepted for who I am, warts and all. It means to me the world. It is my safe place. Everybody, everyone in this beautiful, beautiful family is very dear to me. I love meeting new people. I don't care if you've been here 100 years or if you've been here 5 days. We love you, and I just accept, and they accept me. It's a wonderful place to be. You don't have to worry about anyone judging you. You don't have to worry about anybody wanting to get rid of you, because we're here to stay. And I just feel like it's just home to me.
Since 1965, this has been the home of First Christian Church. Generations have prayed here and marked baptisms, weddings, funerals, and shared countless Sundays together. What was built then still shapes us to this day. We thank God for the vision of those who came before us, for the church that continues to gather here today, and for everyone who walks through our doors in the years to come.